Krishna is the source of all incarnation. Text 14. Isn't it? 14?
Yes, 14.
Rishibhe Yachita Beje Navamam Partivam Apuhu Dugdaha Imam Oshadihi Vipraha Tina Ayam Saha Usatamaha Rishibir Yachito Beje Rishibir Yachito Beje Navamam Partivam Vapu Navamam Partivam Vapuhu Dugdemam Moshadir Viprasa Dugdemam Moshadir Viprasa Tenayam Sa Usatamaha Tenayam Sa Ushatamaha Rishibir Yachito Beje Navamam Prativam Vapuhu Dugdemam Moshadir Vipras Tenayam Sa Ushatamaha
Rishibir Yachito Beche Navamam Partivam Vapu Dugdemam Oshadir Vipras Tenayam Sa Ushatamaha Rishibir Yachito Beche Navamam Partivam Vapu Dugdemam Oshadir Viprahas Tenayam Sa Usatamaha
Tenayam Sa Ushatamaha
There's no ladies today.
Rishibir
Rishibir
by the sages
by the sages
Yachita
Yachita
being prayed for
being prayed for
Beje
Beje
accepted
accepted
Navamam
Navamam
the ninth one
the ninth one
Partivam
Partivam
the ruler of the earth
the ruler of the earth
Vapuhu
Vapuhu
body
body
Dugdha
Dugdam
milking
milking
Imam
Imam
all these
all these
Ushadihi
Ushadi
product of the earth Vipraha O Brahmana Tena by Ayam this Saha he Ushatamaha beautifully attractive. Translation and purport by His Name Grace Ase Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki jai. O Brahmana, in the ninth incarnation, the Lord, prayed for by the sages, accepted the body of a king, Pitu, who cultivated the land to yield various produces, and for that reason the earth was beautiful and attractive. Purport. Before the advent of King Petu, there was great havoc of maladministration due to the vicious life of the previous king, the father of Maharaj Pitu. The intelligent class of men, namely the sages and the Brahmana, not only prayed for the Lord to come down, but also pray for the Lord to come down, but also dethrone the previous king. It is the duty of the king to be pious and thus look after the all-around welfare of the citizens. Whenever there is some negligence on the part of the king in discharging its duty, the intelligent class of men must dethrone him. The intelligent class of men, however, do not occupy the royal throne because they have much more important duties for the welfare of the public. Instead of occupying the royal throne, they pray for the incarnation of the Lord, and the Lord came as Maharaj Prithu. Real intelligent men or qualified brahmanas never aspire for political posts. Maharaj Prithu excavated many producers from the earth, and thus not only did the citizens become happy to have such a good king, but the complete sight of the earth also became beautiful and attractive. Omaganatimindasya gananjara sharakalai shachurumilitam yanatasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swaya Rupa Kadamaryam Darati Swapanatikam. He Krishna Karena Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kantana Mastute. Tapta Kanchana Gurange Radevnita Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutudevi Branamami Hari Priye. Vanchakarpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yavachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Donc là, le Shri Radha Govinda Madhava qui, Krishna Balaram qui, Lalitai qui. Donc dans ce chapitre, Krishna, sous la forme de Dvapaya Muni, Vyasadeva, explique les principales incarnations récentes qui sont venues aider la Terre et les terriens, les humains. Parce que la Terre, dans l'univers, a une importance particulière, parce que c'est l'endroit où on fait son karma. C'est l'endroit où, quand l'être vivant, le jiva, l'âme spirituelle, prend naissance dans une forme humaine qui est rarement acquise, eh bien, c'est une forme carrefour où il devra choisir sa destinée, des fois pour des millions d'années. Autrement dit, il grave son futur de part, sans s'en rendre compte. Ceux qui sont ignorants, qui veulent rester dans l'ignorance, ne se rendent pas compte que, suivant la qualité de ce qu'ils voient, la qualité de ce qu'ils entendent, la qualité de ce qu'ils mangent, la qualité de ce qu'ils touchent, la qualité de ce qui rentre dans les sens, affecte la qualité du mental, qui plus tard affectera la qualité de l'espace-temps et de la vie dans laquelle ils vivront. Dans quel corps, avec quelle richesse, quel compagnon, quelle santé, quelle épouse ou quel patron, quel sommini, tellement de choses. Donc en fait, c'est comme ça qu'est arrangée la nature matérielle. Et la forme humaine est extrêmement importante et la planète Terre, elle a son importance dans le cœur de Krishna. C'est pourquoi, en fait, toutes ces incarnations, elles ont pour but de rétablir la manière d'optimiser pour l'être humain de parfaire sa vie sur Terre, pour idéalement ne plus revenir dans l'univers matériel. Yada yada idharmasya glanir bhavata dhamrata. Donc régulièrement, le Seigneur vient, s'incarne, soi-disant s'incarne, mais son corps est toujours spirituel. Et donc accomplit une mission pour réduire les démons, de réduire leur plan à zéro, aider et encourager les dévots et les dévas, et rétablir des principes religieux pour le bien de l'humanité par la suite. Donc ici, en fait, on parle, on n'élabore pas tellement, mais on donne quelques éléments du pourquoi de la 9e incarnation du Seigneur qui s'appelait le roi Prithu et son épouse Archana. Donc, qui sont apparus pour mettre fin aux méfaits d'un roi athée, démoniaque, qui s'appelait le roi Vena, et qui opprimait tout le monde. Donc avant Vena, il y a eu un problème parce qu'il n'y avait pas de roi. Donc, qui c'est qui opprimait? C'était les voleurs. Les voleurs, les bandits. Et donc, quand il n'y a pas de sécurité, eh bien, c'est difficile de faire des affaires, de faire du commerce. C'est difficile de voyager. Il y a toujours des pillards. C'est difficile de survivre. On se fait ravager les récoltes, comme là. On se fait ravager par des pillards. On se fait ravager les cultures. Donc, c'est pas possible qu'il y ait de l'opulence. Donc, de nos jours, on vit une situation comme ça, pratiquement, où le président Vena, actuel, n'est ni plus ni moins qu'un démon qui ruine les citoyens. Les citoyens sont impuissants parce que, en fait, ils n'ont pas d'armes. Ils dépendent du roi ou du président pour être protégés. Et le président, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Il abuse de sa position pour se remplir les poches, se gargariser de sa position, entreprendre des voyages, des pourparlers qui servent à rien, et mettre des lois qui de plus en plus taxent les citoyens. So the position of the king is to protect his subjects. And we are here in a very similar situation where the president is acting as a dictator, as a king, and filling his pockets at the expense of the people in general, and promulgating laws and fair after laws that are just drowning the people down. So when this is the case, the situation of the citizen is very unfortunate, because Earth is a particular planet in the universe. It is in a way, it is in the center of the universe, due to the fact that human form, which is rarely acquired, is like a crossroad where the people choose their destiny according to what they touch, what they see, what they taste, what they hear, in what their mind dwells. These three gunas, passion, ignorance, and goodness, imbibes the senses and the mind in such a fashion that it craves a particular kind of mind that will be the source of a gross body and its space-time around. Riches, health, your boss, your wife, your children, your money, all this will be intelligence, all this will be given to you according to your desire that you cultivated in the mind and according to the merits. So there is a graduation of the qualities of the acts that we perform during a human form of life. According to the quality of the acts we perform, they are classified as in goodness, passion, and ignorance, and they give bad fruits in ignorance or pungent fruits when you are impatient, or sweet fruits when you are in the mode of goodness. But in the world, all these activities, they attach you to a body that you will have to carry, to take care, educate, take birth, maintain, walk, do something, then disease, then old age, then death. It's a package. You can't avoid this. Abramavu vanaloka punaravartinochuna. On all planets, from the lowest to the highest, and in the middle, of course, also, you can't avoid birth and death. Even the position of devatas, they may not have sicknesses or old age. It's explained when they are old, garlands fade away and they have to come down. Their subtle body become decomposed, eaten by yaksha, rakshasa, and inferior demigods. Because they have a body also, but made of subtle elements. So these elements become dissolved in the cosmos. And the soul comes in a human form of body through the medium of rain, then cereals, then injected in the womb of a mother, and then again the body develops and takes shape in a human form. So this is like the cycle of the living entity when he is even in a goodness, imbibed by and influenced by the mode of goodness, he eventually reaches heavenly planets. The angels, all these people full of good qualities, strength, devatas, but they have to come down. And on the wall, on the flux of eternity, you can see they are just like vacations, long vacations, with a big bank account on your karmic credit card. But when it's exhausted, you have again to come back on this earth. That's why earth is important. That's where you build up your bank account and your karmic bank account. You feed it up, you accumulate in a positive way or in a negative way. It works in both senses because the mind can be elevated or degraded, like in a ladder. You can go up, but you can also use it to go down. So similarly, the ladder of the mind, you can elevate yourself or you can degrade yourself according to the qualities of the work you've done. So all this is taken in account by Yamaraj, the devatas of the religion and of the devata of death also. It's analyzed, scrutinizingly, see what you've done, good, bad, bad, good, 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 bad, bad. And then, according to your desire and merits, you get this body or that body. So the earth is important for the Lord because that's where mostly the living entity will have the opportunity to extract themselves from this vicious cycle of birth and death. So this is the opportunity that is offered to the human form of life. Animals where the jiva, when the atomic soul is incarcerated in a body of grass or animals, is not in any way able to go out, get out of this entanglement. Is obliged to live in a cow's body, dog body, grass body. Is obliged because of what you have done in the past. Is chained. That's only when it comes to the human form of life, then he can understand how this world works, and he can make some provision for the future. That's what intelligent people will do. Like students, they study for a betterment of their future. Unfortunately, in the modern world, nobody believes in the future. After death, everything is finished, but they will be surprised. They will have a big surprise. They will be thrown in front of Yamaraj by people who are not sympathical. And they will realize the mistakes they've done during their life by making a bad choice of the free will they are allocated to. Because free will is there with the jiva, but especially in the human form of life. The devatas, they also have a free will, but generally they use it to enjoy. But not all of them. Some of them, they progress in the spiritual realm. But some of them, most of them become allure and degraded. They enjoy, and then when finished, they come back. Washing machine, up, down, going from immemorial time. So here we are in a 9 incarnation, where King Prithu, what did he do? He built what have been destroyed by the previous king, previous dictator. Like now, like particularly in the world of the planet today, it's only dictators, assuming the role of kings and disguising themselves as president or like that, but they arrange the election for them to be elected through money or to trafficking the voting machine or by making advertisement of themselves much more than the opponents. That's how they win elections. Or being manipulated by ONG, so many underground social media nowadays to influence people in order for them to vote for a certain king. That's all political manipulation. That's why Srila Prabhupada explained, real intelligent man or qualified brahmana never aspire for political posts. Because when you are with political posts, then you are obliged to touch followers, position, touch money, woman. And all these three, for spiritual life, it is toxic. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitan vache shakamayi. Lord Chaitanya himself, the Lord who rules the beginning of the Kali Yuga for the devotees now, advocating that the devotee stay aloof from the opposite sex, from too much money, and from followers. Of course, our sannyas are obliged to touch these things because they assume the position of a king, but it is very dangerous. Here it is not. The general rule is that the qualified brahmana, they stay humble. A real sadhu is not interested by a lot of disciples and opulence. For this is the general advice. And he is reluctant to accept worship and to accept money. We have the story of Tukaram. He was a holy saint. He lived during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was initiated in a dream by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he had many pastime. He lived in Maharashtra, near Pune, in Pandharpur, near Pandharpur. So he is very known for his habangs, his song of glorification of the Lord, who was named Vital, who stayed in Pandharpur. And Sanji, a king who was administrating, or it was a holy king, he appreciated the qualities of Pandurang. And one day he came with a lot of money because Tukaram was feeding some people and he was living in a skint situation, a small house, a few children, a wife. He lived in a very poor way. He was unaware of earning money or like that. It was difficult. So the king, they came with a plate full of golden coins, but Tukaram will not accept. He didn't want. So Sanji, the king, he asked, but you feed so many people, you need money, you could feed more. Yeah, but keep it. I don't want to organize and to use your money. So it was like that. So imagine the vast gulf of difference in between our actual leaders and the quality of the people at that time. Pandurang is not so far, it's 500 years ago. How pious people were at this time. So what did Maharaj pray to? Mainly, he reorganized completely the administration of the earth. So he had big power because he arranged for the earth to be cultivable. There was a lot of mountains, and he erased them. He made a lot of the surface of the earth clean and flat, plain, so that people could cultivate soil. So the main occupation of people in general should be to cultivate the soil, to make the earth produce some minerals, cereals, fruit, flowers, all things that made wood, trees, all kind of things that makes life agreeable, nice, beautiful, and they give opulence and facility for human form of life to live in. And that's what he made, and he had big power. He even, at a certain time, created a second sun. So there were, and the sun was rotating and giving light one after another one, so that they could have more crop. Actually, the more you have sun, the more you have crops. In Brazil or these countries, you can even, where the center, because the south is different, where the sun is also almost vertical, you can get 2 crops. And some country with some special boon, even 3 crops. I've seen a video of a village which name was Amrutalavashwar. And there was a special field. And the guy who owned this field, he was getting 3 crops. It was called in the village the golden field. And one day his plough hit a stone. So the villagers, the underground, they cleared the stone and they see it was the top of a temple. And this temple was excavated and rejuvenated completely.
Which country?
It is in Karnataka. You can see the video in YouTube. Amrutalashvar. It's a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva. So everything was buried, and it means saved by the time. It was not destroyed by enemies or destroyed by rain or nature. Well conserved with nice carving and like that. A very old temple. You don't know how old this temple is. Completely buried in the ground. So it's excavated some maybe 5-10 meters of earth on the side to make it public so that we can visit. And now it's shown. You can see it. So like that, the time is erasing all the efforts and buildings, fields is being buried. If you go in Jagannath Puri, there's a place where there is a very, very, very old small temple, and it's some -5 to 7 meters deep in the sand. It's an original, I don't remember, but everybody knows over there. A very old temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and the sides are like it's like a crater. The temple looks like a crater, and the level of the earth, it's even higher than the top of the temple. It's not a big temple. So like that, earth with dust, seeds, grass, is being recovered little by little. In 5,000 years, Madhvacharya, when he came back from the Himalayan mountains after having shown his commentary of Bhagavad Gita to Vyasadeva, he came back with his disciple and they stopped in Kurukshetra. They excavated the maze of Bhima. He knew where it was because he had some connection with Bhima. And they found the maze some 5 to 7 meters deep in the earth. They found it. So like that, it's a matter of 5,000 years. 5,000 years, maybe 5 meters, 10 meters of dirt and earth and many things that accumulate, that cover everything. Not everywhere, but it's an example. So, Maharaj Prithu was incarnating the role of a perfect king. So he will do not only education for the people, but he will do some important arrangement for people to live quietly, simply, and be occupied by working the soil. So this is a solution for our society. People must return to the earth, walking to the earth. In place of paying people for not doing or doing small job here and then and staying humble and poor, they don't arrange for the cultivation of the earth. So people are becoming idle, which is, like the proverb says, workshop for a devil mind. Devil mind means devil activities, furthermore, from subtle to gross, because they are lacking facilities for experimenting the material world and working. So the best work is to work the soil. It extinguishes patience and it occupies also the mind. As a result, you depend more on Krishna through the agency of the rain, the seasons, the weather. And your tendency will be to be more pious. If you cultivate the soil and you take care of the cows, simply by these karmic activities on the plane of goodness, then you attain heavenly planets. Of course, if you cultivate spiritual benefit, which is the duty also of the king, to give some facility for the upliftment of humanity, not only in a material plane, but on the spiritual platform as well, then we have a good king. And in this sense, it is not difficult to govern people and the country at large. We see now, because there is inequity everywhere, the services are being plundered, education is becoming poor, taking care of the people, the elderly and the sick people becoming poor, hospital becoming overcrowded, etc. And public service at large becoming more and more threatened. Transportation becoming hazardous in some towns. Like we've seen this accident, some people were poignarded, I don't know. Stabbed.
With a knife?
Yeah.
Stabbed.
Yeah, stabbed. People were stabbed in a train for no reason. There's some people are completely crazy coming from the savannah or jungle or whatever. And like that, it becomes a problem. The safety of the world becomes threatened. And as a result, you cannot become rich. Business is hampered. In a country where there is no security, it's not possible to have facilities for good living. First is security, and security is done by a strong government. If the government is any people, junkie people, smoking people, sniffing people, and people with sexual life completely topsy-turvy in all aspects, how they can rule a country? It's not possible. Everything will become little by little also topsy-turvy. It's the way of life. Crazy king, you will have crazy citizens after some time. And normal people will find the life unbearable. They will suffer a lot. So in this condition, it's very difficult for spiritual life to grow and material life to grow also. So Krishna makes arrangement at this time. And these kind of people are swept away. And like we did, it was done by the time of Maharaj Prithu, who came some millions of years ago, but it's recorded in Bhagavatam. And he re-established the order. Spiritual order, material order at the same time. Afterwards, it was like a golden age. Because the earth was beautiful, because of nice arrangement. And people became beautiful because they were spiritually enlightened. So the purpose of human form of life is inherently described in these verses. How to make people happy in their material and spiritual life. Of course, the devotees are propagating this kind of life. but propagating the ultimate goal of life. The devotee don't even aspire to heavenly planets with damsels, nice dancers, nice player, nice food, nice palace, nice garden, nice everything. They don't care so much about that. They don't even care about liberation. They care about developing a relationship, eternal, with Krishna, which is full of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. That's a very elevated goal of life, and everybody have to have this knowledge that this goal is not impossible for us to reach. We just have to adjust and cultivate the right desire. Not so easy to cultivate a desire with an environment where nobody cultivates this desire. So you are like the black sheep in a herd of white sheep. You may be the same, apparently, but internally the mind is completely oriented toward other things. So that's the position of the devotee. He looks like every normal other living beings, human beings, but internally the way he thinks for the pleasure of the Lord, whilst all others are thinking for their own so-called pleasure. So-called pleasure because the senses are so easily exhausted and the mind wants to change gratification from the senses quickly, especially in Kali Yuga. That accumulates, is full up your pocket, more and more and more. There's no end to that. So people have to know the secret of life, not to fall down in this trap that is displayed in every billboard, every page, every web, everywhere. It's a trick of Maya, alluring the living entity to stay in the material world. So that's where you exert your free will when you choose voluntarily to be reluctant and, how do you say, like a duck under a rain is not affected by the water. You are waterproof. So similarly, the devotee should cultivate guna-proof, aloof from the influence of the gunas, passion, ignorance, and even goodness. A lot of devotees are enamored by the mode of goodness. It's natural for every spiritualist, but they may become entangled by this mode as well. We may be just satisfied by nice prasadam, nice association, nice temple, nice everything, nice garden, nice weather, so many things. But that's not the finality. It's another kind of subtle illusion also. Like staying in the heavenly planet. It's the same. Heavenly planet and living in a temple is more or less similar. Of course, there's a lot of more facilities over there. But what we really cultivate in our heart, this is what is important, and that's what Krishna sees in the deep of the heart. So we expect another Maharaj Prithu to come on this earth to establish a good system of life for the devotees at large. So we'll stop here. and leaving some comments or like that, maybe question or like that. It's a very similar situation to nowadays situation. We have a King Vena equivalent, and we are waiting for the fruit of some marriage Pritu to come. And it requires someone who is intelligent, who understands the value of life, and who understands that at death, nothing is annihilated. Everything continues in another form, unless we are aware of that. The eternity of the soul and transitory body, which is changing at every time anyway. Unless we are conscious of that, you cannot govern the people how it should be. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande.